Hello, my name is Paulina and I study English almost every day with Outcomes Advanced. Welcome aboard. So today we continue working with Unit 2 relationships, and first and foremost, we're going to revise some active vocabulary items with the exercise in Wordwall. Okay, so you can stop the recording as usual, scan the QR code, and be happy with your Wordwall exercise. Okay. So here you are, your QR code, scan it, and you're welcome. And I will be doing it as well, but here, okay? As usual, I try to predict or remember the phrase or word combination, yeah, to take it out of my head. And if I can't come up with any, so I will look it up in the list, okay? So make nasty comments means to make bitchy remarks, right? Okay, establish lines that line the edge, set boundaries. Suddenly leave your partner and end your relationship. Walk out. Okay, any kind of pressure that might exist between individuals or groups. Pressure, put a strain on your relationship. Accept parts of both sides in order to come to a compromise. Strike a balance between, I think. Yeah. To create clear rules, establish clearly defined roles. Yeah. To compete strongly with someone in order to obtain or achieve attention. Vie for attention, right? Okay. To give one's attention to something and try very hard to do it. Put your mind to something. Yeah? Yeah, okay. A problem which you have to deal with before you make any progress. Oh, this one I love. Hurdle. For some reason, I just love the word and the way it sounds. Like, really, hurdle. Hurdle. Okay. Coming to an understanding with someone you agree to disagree, and finally, it's not acceptable to have them. There is no room for domestic quarrels. Okay, let's check it all. Okay, nice. Let's move on then. So, as usual, you can find all the words in notes. I attached the link last time, so you can find if you want. Okay. Now we proceed finally to our reading part. It's going to be quite a huge text actually, which we'll be working with today. So let's begin with speaking section, getting together. Okay. So working groups. Okay. Discuss the questions. What do you think are the pros and cons of the following ways of meeting a partner? So pros and cons of having an arranged marriage. Okay, as for pros, as for benefits, I think arranged marriage, and I think it was created for the sake of guarantee that after your breaking up, yeah, you will have something left. I mean, your estate or your property, cars, houses, and so on. So I think it's all about, all administrative kind of type of side of relationships is fixed, I think, this way, yeah. But on the other hand, arranged marriage, for me, has nothing to deal with trust. And what do you have an arranged marriage for? Just to be safe and secure? For me, maybe I'm just too young, I don't know, but this is one principle that I stick to for all my life, that I've stick to for all my life, I think, and I will be sticking to it. that if we have an arranged marriage, it means you just have no, trust, yeah, in the person you are going to have a future life with, yeah. And so you're going to be suspicious or something. So I think somewhere in the deep at the deep bottom of your soul, it will be kept, yeah. This is what I think. um okay, what do you think are the pros and cons of going on a blind date? Okay. So as for advantages of going on a blind date, I know nothing. Okay, I think that going on a blind date has nothing to do with any advantages. It has no advantages. Just because, let me come back to you. Just because when I broke up with my husband and some time passed, so of course I wanted to continue trying to find my man and everything. So I'm a kind of like I'm a family person. I'm this kind of people, especially women, right? So I downloaded Tinder, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think so. And actually, I had lots of dates which were expected to be not blind, but in fact, the pictures and the of men in the app did not had nothing to do with the reality. So I think that my dates were considered blind dates, and why there is nothing good in it for me, particularly personally, just because how can you meet a person if you don't like his appearance, please? Right? If you don't know, for example, for me, it was of highly important, of great importance, the height, because I'm tall. I'm a meter and 77 centimeters. So no less than 180, no less than, because my husband, my ex-husband was 175, so he was 2 centimeters lower than me. No way I would love to have like the same weight guy. No way. And they all texted, they all put in this, not rider or something, yeah. So they all wrote that like 182, 190, but in fact, when I came on a date with them, oh really? They were like this to me. And I would always ask them, why on earth would you lie? What's the point? If I am, for example, a tall person, why to lie? What's the point? Because it was like, sorry, bye, all the time. He wasted my time and it was disgusting, okay? So I see no point in going on a blind date, really. Just to chat, just to communicate, maybe if you search for communication, go ahead, but not for me. I would never hit it off with such kind of person or if he's, for example, lower than me. You see, I think, and this is the point where I don't want to lighten up. No way. For me, there's no way. You can name me full of myself, yeah, full of myself person. Okay, but this is just the principle that I will stick to forever. Though I have already my own men, Okay, so nothing good in going on a blind date. Okay. What do you think are the pros and cons of meeting through work or university? Okay, actually, again, I can sorry. Let me check some more. I won't tell you which word. Okay. Uh okay, Discord reason. Okay, I can't reason for what? I can only take into account my own life experience, of course. And this is the perspective from which I look onto a life, right? On a life of every person. That's why meeting through work or university, why not? Right? If you see that it's fine, this person is approachable, for example, or you're willing to meet your person, why not? I see no nothing bad in it. The only disadvantage of meeting through work or university, as if we're speaking about work, it can be difficult from time to time at times because as we had listened, as we had heard actually in the listening part last time, you can mess the things up at work. Yeah, you can just be tired of the person you see every day at work, right? And the same thing with university, but at the same time, you can learn and see what the person is like at work and at university, which are quite similar things, right? If he, for example, sticks to his principles at work, if he is susceptible, or if he is hardworking or not, responsible or not, if he can suck up to someone in order to get ahead, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, get ahead, right? Whether he or she will back down, if, for example, he can't pass the exam, will he or she back down or keep going, right? So, as for advantages, you can see the person, what she or he is like, really, the character, the personality, right? And as for disadvantages, as for meeting a person at university, I think it may be too early. Again, okay, now I remember the word. So judging from my own experience, I got married when I was 18, and it was a mistake. It was a way too fast. It was too early. And we were on the second course, in the second year of our university studies, and it was a mistake, really. Of course, now from the position where I am in my life, this all was needed to create myself as I am now. But at the same time, I will keep saying that it was a mistake, really. Okay, so at university, it may be too early, yeah? And at work, I have already mentioned them, disadvantages. And finally, what are the pros and cons of meeting via an internet dating site? Okay, again, as I have already mentioned today, it of course depends on what dating site you meet via, right? But at first, I think all these sites are dedicated, yeah, and they were created for people to find a person to have sex with, right? I think so, really. But I have heard lots of stories, successful stories of meeting a person via internet dating site, and they are still together, having family, children, and so on. So again, it all depends on the person. But okay, as for pros and cons, if we come back to the task. As for benefits, right? You can prevent yourself in comparison to meeting a person on a blind date from you can write what you need from a person, what you want to see in him or her, right? You can check whether this person is chatty, whether he or she is bright, already in the texting each other, right? While texting each other, you can check lots of things, right? This is nice, I think. It's a particular advantage. As for disadvantages, okay, maybe first I'm going to tell you some crazy stories about the people I met. But actually, the first guy I met on this dating internet site was he was actually a crazy guy with some with some mental problems, and I could have never known it before I had met him, actually. So only after a day or two of communicating, I mean face to face, I realized that he has some problems. And unfortunately, at that moment, he was inside my flat. So, though I was scared, I managed to, peacefully выдворить, okay, walk out from him. But I made him walk out from my place. And since then, I was very, very careful, and it was an insane experience, really. And he didn't even know that he had some mental problems, really. So this may be probable disadvantage. Next question. I'm so tired of speaking, but I have to, as you too. How do you think the photo relates to meeting a partner? What do you think of this method? Okay, while actually preparing this frame, because this green thing is a frame. So, actually, I've been to China, and I can guess that these people are in China, and I mean, some aunts and uncles of some young people, they create. I'm sorry, I forgot to share the screen again. So, what do you think of the photo relates to meeting a partner? What do you think of this method? So it's a kind of arranged meeting when aunts and uncles, grandpas, parents, they create like the data, not create, they write a data, write like a portfolio of their grandchildren or children, nephews and nieces and so on. And like Helena, 23 years old, working, blah, 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 tries to find a man who is blah, blah, blah. So some information. And it's like a dating site, but in real life. You see? If I'm not mistaken, because it can be anything else, apart from what I think it is. Okay? And what do you think of this method? I don't know. Really, I can't reckon anything in this regard, just because I think it's all it all stands from stands from okay the reason of why people do it is deeply rooted in their mentality and culture. So why are young people so busy? Why can't they decide for themselves? Why should the parents and grandparents be worried about their children, but not the children themselves, right? So I don't think I can fully understand this, but it's just a part of their culture. Why not? And unfortunately, I don't remember the exact primal cause, or how to say the root cause of how it was created and so on. So I don't know. Which other ways of meeting partners can you think of? What's good, bad about each one? Okay, actually, in this regard, I can tell you a story about my mom. So when my mom was young, but she already had me, I was, you know, a baby, and there was no internet at those times, right? Back in this distant past. So she invented such a method. She put how to say, an advertisement or something, like a note in a newspaper, or just in a newspaper. So she paid for a note in this newspaper that she's trying to find a man for her and for her daughter. She wants to get acquainted with a man. And several men, like let's say 20 men, replied, and they arranged a meeting. And can you imagine? She would always come, and she arranged the meeting at a square, or in the square. Correct me if I'm mistaken. In or at the square? In the square, and near the big monument of Lenin or something. And she would always come and hide in the bushes with me in the box for children. And you know, she would always look at those men to come, and choose from their appearance. And also she puts in this note that she needs some rice, some buckwheat, or some products, you know, because she's not starving. But like, if you want to date with me, you need to bring some food, you know, something like this. I can maybe be mistaken, but in general, this was like this. And finally, after, like, someone came without any food, without packets. Someone came with full packets, like 2 of them, almost full to the brim. Yeah. And she chose, judging from their appearance and from what they brought. And finally, she dated with like 5 of them, but none of them became my fathers, hopefully, luckily. So yeah, this is the way she did it. And I think it's an amazing thing, very creative, nice of her, really. So maybe this is one of the ways, right? Okay, so finally, let's proceed to reading, because I think we have to. Okay, read the article opposite about love, opposite, okay, and relationships. Answer the questions. 2 questions. How are the 3 strands of science, social science, neuroscience, and computer science, possibly helping to improve relationships? And 2, how convinced is the author that science will actually provide benefits in this field? Okay, so let's read the text. I will underline everything I like on the fly right away. Okay. I haven't read this text before, so sorry for my pronunciation mistakes if I do any. Okay. From Cupid to computer. Rose explores the brave new relationship between romance and science. Fred and Doreen Wilson are not your average husband and wife. In fact, having just celebrated their 75th wedding anniversary, they may well enjoy the nation's longest-lasting marriage. There is no great secret to our success, muses Fred. We've always got on very well, and we've always respected each other, but neither of us has ever expected the other to be the only source of happiness in life. Just a beautiful one, source of happiness. Right? I just love it. We've been off and done for, no, we've been off, be off, okay. And done our things, our own things, but we've always come back to each other afterwards, and that's helped keep things fresh. Okay, obviously we'll underline it. When things go badly, people often think changing partners will help, but hardly anyone ever ends up better off as a result. Given that in many European countries, over 6 out of 10 marriages now end in divorce, and even in more culturally conservative places, rates from 20% are no longer uncommon. Such patience and perseverance may seem like a thing of the past. In fact, though, researchers are convinced that we can all learn how to be happier by drawing lessons from couples like the Wilsons. Nice. Over recent years, social science has increasingly moved into what was traditionally the domain of artists, poets, and playwrights, and one result has been a wealth of studies exploring love and marriage and the experiences of those who've been through it all already and lived to tell the tale. Okay, this research reveals that we have more chance of staying together if we contribute equally to the household, don't attempt to sort out problems by text message, get plenty of sleep, and avoid having kids. Okay. While social scientists analyze the wisdom of lifelong partners, researchers working in the field of neuroscience believe they can now detect the signs of true romance in those embarking on new relationships by observing which parts of their brain lights up and to what degree they do so during scans. Distinctive patterns of electrical activity are noticeable in volunteers who claim to have recently fallen in love, and an informed viewing of neuron activity could be sufficient to determine whether their feelings are strong enough for their relationships to last. Okay. However, it is in the field of online dating that the appliance of science may well prove to be most lucrative. Where early sites simply promised access to thousands upon thousands of profiles and an excess of choice, great variety, if I'm not mistaken. No. An excess of choice that did not result in a huge increase in the number of couples finding love. Their modern counterparts are increasingly narrowing down our choices by using sophisticated mathematical formulas to try to ensure subscribers are matched to those they are supposedly most compatible with. Subscribe to a site today and you're expected to not only come up with clear ideas about who you're looking for, but to also answer upwards of 200 extra questions designed to sound out your morals, values, and beliefs. These details are then subjected to an analysis called collaborative filtering, whereby the preferences of large numbers of people are collected and divided into groups of similar users. There is, of course, a deep irony in all of this. In the West, we tend to regard arranged marriage as an outdated relic from a distant era, and we pride ourselves on our freedom and individuality. Yet, it could easily be claimed that we've simply replaced one kind of human matchmaker with another technological one. The degree to which this will ensure marital success remains highly contested. Perhaps, in the end, we may have to accept that chemistry will never be completely understood by scientists. Okay. I need to reread some parts, actually. So how are the three strands of science, social science, neuroscience, and computer science, possibly helping to improve relationships? So let's first speak about social science. How does it help? It's a good question. How can it be possibly helping? Yeah. Live to tell the tale. Okay, research. Here? This research reveals that we have more chance of staying together if we contribute equally to the household, don't attempt to sort out problems, avoid having kids, blah, blah. I think it's about social science, okay? What about neuroscience? Neuroscience believes they can now detect the signs of true romance blah blah during scans, detect the sense during scans, and be sufficient to determine their feelings are strong enough for the relationships to last. So I think you can predict whether your love will last forever or not, like this. And finally, computer science, right? So if you first of all, you have access to thousands upon thousands of profiles, access of choice. Unfortunately, it does not result in huge increase in number of couples finding love, of course. Okay. Similar users. So you can narrow down the list of those people who value the same things that you do, right? So this is what how to say, computer science may help, right? To narrow down the list of this is what I was talking about when speaking of pros of internet dating sites, finding people there, right? So you just can see the info about this person before you meet him or her, right? Okay, so we will continue next time. That's all for today. What I want us to do at home. So I want us to read the text one more time. I will attach the screenshot to the Notion. Okay. And I want us to read it again and work it like word by word, just to get ready to speak a bit further. Okay. We will work with the words and paraphrasing at the lesson. However, reread the text. Okay. And I think that's all. Thank you for watching. See you maybe tomorrow, maybe on Sunday. I don't know. I have no slightest idea for now. But at least we'll meet on Monday. Okay. Thanks for watching. You're welcome to come again. Thank you again. And bye-bye.